How many of you know this guy?
I challenge Regina Daniel with her husband Ned Nwoke make them sue me to court. Yes. Now me talk say Regina Daniel get another boyfriend. Say all the children wey him claim say na Ned Nwoke get am. Say na another man get the children. So now I challenge them, make them sue me to court, and I go bring my evidence. Make them know say the anyaj don open for my table and the evidence shook for everywhere. I go expose them. Na Tumma dey talk. If Regina Daniel believe herself say yes, na only Ned Nwoke dey cross her leg, make she sue me to court, make her expose her. As you all know, this is Tumma.
This guy has been using social media to make so many defamatory statements against Senator Ned Nwoke. And a lot of people don't find this funny. And recently, Senator Ned Nwoke actually took action against him, and a lot of people think that that action was justified. But something has been happening lately. Mr. Sowore has been standing in for this guy to fight for him, and a lot of Nigerians don't know why he will be standing up for someone like this, because apparently that guy invited the trouble to himself. A lot of people are curious, why are you standing up for this young man?
Well, let me correct first and foremost that he has been making defamatory statements. Those are far-reaching accusations that have not been proven anywhere. The young man, Gabriel Timothy, known as Tumma, has been using social media to make his own case for a country that he expects to see, having gone through some hard times himself, which is not for discussion now. But the question you ask is, what are we standing for on his behalf? Is that we've always stood for those who are disadvantaged, those who are cheated, those who are vulnerable, those who have nobody to stand for them. And that is the reason why we've been standing for everybody, including sometimes those we don't agree with necessarily, whose rights have been trampled upon. The rights of Mr. Tumma was trampled upon, but this is the second time they will trample on his rights. There was a time the wife of the president, Ms. Tinubu, sent him to detention for 57 days without trial. And we were the ones who got him released.
What did he do?
Well, they also claimed that he made some statements on TikTok defaming the First Lady. And they couldn't prove it. They filed charges against him that never came up for arraignment today. So this is what the big people in Nigeria do. They use their influence, their connection, and their wealth to trample on the rights of the same people whose resources they have stolen in the first place. People they are deprived of opportunity and development. So we always stand for them just as we stand up for ourselves. We are for equity, we are for justice, and we are for the development of the rule of law. Because without the rule of law in any country, there can never be democratic progress.
I understand that you are known for standing up for people. You stood up for so many people, and the evidence is on papers. But I'm curious about this specific guy. Are you trying to say that what Tumma said and what he did is justified?
Nobody has presented before a court of law what he said.
There are videos.
There are videos that were not even presented to the lawyers. There is no evidence. He was just arraigned a few minutes ago, and they did not present a single shred of evidence of what he said. If you are going to present a video, you are supposed to present them in a format that the judges can look at, whether as a thumb drive or a CD drive or any format. None was presented today. They just came and read the charges that he defamed somebody. And by the way, defamation is completely a civil case. If somebody has defamed you, what you do is you go and ask for damages in a civil trial. You have no right, anybody, and I'm reminding you and those of you who are out there using social, nobody has a right to use the police to arrest you because you made an allegation against them that they deem defamatory. If they want to seek redress, you go to a civil court to seek redress. Everybody in the world has access to a civil court. And these people also understand that the civil courts are there to deal with civil matters. But they decide to go otherwise because they have power, they have connection. They'll go directly to the IG. They say, look, I want to punish this young man because he offended me. And the IG, without thinking, would find some policemen who will go arrest the person, illegally detain the person like the First Lady did for 57 days. And then when they are released, they file no charges. Like I'm telling you, we're just coming from court. He was arraigned. The police that brought him to court filed no single shred of evidence. These are his lawyers to my left and to my right. No evidence was provided in court of any kind to justify the charge that he cyberbullied or committed a cyber crime. None whatsoever. So when they make these allegations in public, or when they use influencers or social media or the media to tell these stories, ask them, have they presented an evidence in court? Did they serve the lawyers evidence that it is tried in law that you must do before you even engage in any kind of... None was done. What they did today, which is unprecedented with their connection, was that when the lawyers filed bail application, they removed the bail application from the file of the court. So the judge said, I can't find your bail motion. And as a result, they adjourned the case for trial till October 4th. Is it October 8th, 2025? Even if you are convicted of this crime they claim you committed, you only serve 2 years in prison. So already they have detained, they are going to get over 4 months just to go to trial. And the guy will be languishing in jail, and the people who are destroying Nigeria will not spend one night in prison. The people who stole billions, the people who are known to have committed all kinds of atrocities, including crimes against humanity, they are the ones forming coalitions now to rule you again. So I am advising anybody who feel that anyone has defamed them, let them ask their lawyer the proper procedure, which is to go to, to file a civil lawsuit and ask for damages. That is how it is done globally. And these are the people who claim that they are civilized. They are the ones who have private jets. They are the ones who travel across the world. But when it comes to Nigeria, they run Nigeria as if we are in the 15th century. It's unfortunate. And anybody who is supporting this injustice, I'm telling you, one day will be your turn, because it will soon go round.
Okay, if I can understand all you've said, what you are really fighting is the fact that due process was not followed.
I was there, and there are videos on my page on Facebook and Instagram when their lawyer, the prosecutor, went to a magistrate court, which he admitted has no jurisdiction over the matter, to go and file for a detention order. And it is that detention order that they have used in the last 2 weeks to keep him in detention. But he admitted that he knows that the magistrate court have no jurisdiction to try the case. So that's what they do. They go to the magistrate court, they send you to prison, and then they'll come and file some bogus charge, and then they'll send you back to prison because they'll say your bail application is not right for hearing. And before you know it, you have spent 2 years in prison, and then they'll stop coming to court. The Nigerian police, and I'm challenging them, has never successfully prosecuted anybody for cybercrime since the offense was introduced in 2015 by Goodluck Jonathan. None. Because they never have the capacity to even diligently prosecute cases of murder. These are the same people who arrested 26 people who they claim killed 200 people in Yewata and Benue State. They have not arraigned a single one of them in court since they arrested them some 2 weeks ago. But they found, or the lawyers, the prosecutors, they found the prison to jail a guy who they claim offended a second wife of a Nigerian senator.
A lot of people suspect that your interest in this matter is because of the issue you once had with Senator Ned Nwoke. There was a time he arrested you for something that was published on Sowore Reporters. What do you have to say about that?
Not at all. In fact, before he arrested me, I had bailed out Jaruma when he did the same thing to Jaruma.
Jaruma Empire.
Empire, the lady who sells Kayamata. And when the lady had an issue with his wife, he got an area court to jail her as well. So I intervened and got her out of the problem. So that was the point at which he came after me. He tried to come after me. So my position on justice has nothing to do with whether you offend me or not. Let me tell you, the people who are traditionally my biggest enemies in this country are the police. But I am also the #1 person fighting for police well-being in the country today. I want them to be paid the best pension that anybody can get. I want them to have equipments, vehicles. I don't want them to be contributing money for the wife of the IG to do birthday. I want them to have some of the best working conditions in the country. But they are the same people who broke my nose. They are the ones who shot me in the thigh. So as far as justice is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, whether you are a Jew or Gentile, I'm for justice. So it has nothing to do. If Ned Nwoke himself is cheated today, I'll fight for him. That's how I'm wired. So don't let anybody deceive you that it has nothing to do with what he did to me. Ned Nwoke has no right to send anybody. In fact, it is the country that should be sending Ned Nwoke to jail. And you can say this because Nwoke was involved in a lot of questionable and shady dealings in the way and manner they stole local government funds that they claim were refunded by the World Bank.
Can you talk about it?
Oh, that was the one where he claimed he's representing local governments and some refunds that they got from money that were deducted in World Bank loans. And when the money came, Ned Nwoke got the largest chunk of it, connived with Minister of Finance officials, took the money. To the point that Ned Nwoke bought a private jet. And when the arm of the private jet broke in Abuja here, he ordered for a second one. It was from that morning that he married his wife, who was clearly, there was a time there was allegation that she was underage. It was from all that.
Do you mean Regina Daniels?
Yes. It was from that excess money that he's living the life that he's living now, living large, on Nigeria's resources. And those are the kind of people who are sending people to jail for merely expressing themselves on TikTok. People express themselves on TikTok all over the world. TikTok has probably the largest base in terms of young people who are using TikTok. TikTok are being used for public good in other places. TikTok is being used to suppress people in Nigeria. That is so sad that the young people of Nigeria have no right to express themselves. But the rich people of Nigeria can say whatever they want. They can steal whomever they want to steal from. They are stealing cities, but they are putting in jail people who are stealing chickens. That's where Nigeria is today. And that is why we stand against any of these rich people who are already living large on public funds. Not to even develop the idea of thinking that they can suppress anybody. People have been suppressed, they have been deprived, they have been destroyed and decimated enough. They are lucky that they have very complacent young people. In other places, nobody will be talking against them on TikTok. They would have taken further steps that will make some of them run away from the country. But I am not in any way justifying violence, but I'm saying that enough is enough. This oppression in this country must end. That's our position.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So I want to go back to something I already said. You know, it is established by certain people that you are using Sahara reporters. I don't know about now, but in the past, to fight against Ned Nwoke, that there were some things you wrote about him concerning the campaign he did about malaria using a foundation where he worked with Regina Daniels, that he wanted to eradicate malaria from Africa. He traveled down to Antarctica. And a lot of people claim that it was it's a fraud, and I'm sure that was something Sahara reported about. And there were also claims about land grabbing too. All these were documented by Sahara reporters, and I'm sure that was what led to him trying to get you arrested. So right now, people think that maybe you are using this issue with Temo to fight back at Senator Ned Nwoke.
You have said this earlier, and I've told you, whatever Sahara wrote is factual. And he took me to court. I was arrested in 2022 by Ned Nwoke. He took myself, Sahara reporters, to this federal high court. They have not been able to arraign me till tomorrow because he has been unable to prove that the things Sahara reporters wrote about him was a lie. The question I asked Ned Nwoke when he said he wanted to eradicate malaria from Africa, I said, have you eradicated malaria from your house in Abuja? He couldn't answer the question. So you can put up a bogus foundation agenda to take money from people, but when you are challenged, provide the evidence that you can eradicate malaria, starting from your village. So, but he arrested me, he took me to court. They couldn't charge me, they haven't charged me till tomorrow. The case is adjourned till, I think, October again. And I come to court every time. Ned Nwoke has not been able to show up in court. But you know what he did? He went behind and used an area judge to detain my lawyer, Marshal Abubakar, for 4 days. He works with Femi Falana. He used all these underhanded tactics. When I was detained by him in 2022, I found people from his village who had been at the FCID for 9 months because they challenged his land grabbing to create the